Hello, Dan from XTFX here with an overview of collaborative workflow between Baselight and Flame by means of the Filmlight BLG utility for Flame family products. In summary, BLG for Flame enables Baselight grading setups, regardless of their complexity, to be applied to clips in Flame as soft effects in a renderless fashion. I'll begin with the grade in Baselight. My stacks comprise primary grades with a range of grading operators, along with secondaries, held back by a combination of shape masks, chroma keys, and tracking masks with animation. I'll open the Shots window and export an EDL of my cut. Now I'll export the BLG files for the shots in my cut. The payload of the Baselight grade, including all effects and operators, is stored as metadata in an EXR file in the specified folder. In the OSX Finder we can see the exported EXR files for each shot in the cut with a split screen before and after preview. We're running a custom demo setup on a Mac in this session, but all of the functionality shown here applies to standard Baselight installations on Linux. Flame is running concurrently on a remote Linux host. I'll tab over to it in TeamViewer. I'll load in the EDL I exported from Baselight. Here we can see the exported EXR previews for the BLGs more clearly in Flame's browser. I'll conform my list and generate a sequence in Flame's timeline. I'll add a new gap track in my timeline and open the timeline effect palette. A new effects option is PyBox, essentially a Python handler enabling a high level of interoperability with third-party applications. I'll load the Filmlight BLG utility, and this is applied to my gap track. I'll select BLG files as the source for my grades, and select the shared folder where I previously stored my BLGs in Baselight. The Baselight grades are now applied as a soft effect to the shots in the timeline, and processed on the fly. I'll move the timeline focus point up and down in order to compare the Baselight grades with the original photography. Now I'll change the grade source to Scene, and select the currently open scene on the remote Baselight host. I'll tab back to Baselight and adjust the grade. When I tab back to Flame and interact with the timeline, the BLG grades are applied live, as the changes are applied in Baselight. It's worth noting that the BLG grades are applied to the shots based on their source timecode and tape metadata, which means that shots can be trimmed and moved in the timeline whilst retaining the link to the BLG grades. Thanks for watching. For further information on BLG and Flame, contact the XTFX team at sales@xtfx.co.uk. To find out more about BLG and Baselight, contact Arthur at filmlight.ltd.uk.